Welcome to This Week in Astrology. This is episode number 529 for April 13 to 19, 2020. This week we have the peak of a Grand Trine that supports easy relating and communication. We also have the Sun entering Taurus and several Sun and Mercury aspects, most notably the Sun squaring Pluto and Jupiter. Most of the aspects I'll be interpreting here are not included in my written forecasts, so you're getting a lot of bonus material. I'm now simultaneously recording my weekly forecast as an audio podcast and a video. I go straight through with no editing afterwards, so you get the real me, raw and unpolished. So thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein, broadcasting from thisweekinastrology.com. You can read my forecasts online, the parts I don't put as bonus here anyway, and see my chart graphics for things like lunations and aspect patterns. You can do that by going to astroshaman.com. Click blog on the menu bar, then choose the astrology forecasts category. And please rate this wherever you're hearing or watching it so that others like you can find it. We're told as we come into this week, we've got a waning moon and a continuing Grand Trine that I'm about to tell you more about. So let's go to our individual days. I don't necessarily forecast every single day, just the ones that have a significant event. So let's start with Tuesday, April 14. Easy relating and communication are supported by a Grand Trine that started on April 6th, peaks today on the 14th, and ends on the 26th. This harmonious aspect pattern includes Venus, Mars, Juno, and Vesta. This Grand Trine works individually and collectively. On the personal level, it can add more ease and flow to all your relationships, including committed partnerships. It can also boost your creativity, including creative collaboration with others. The collective flavor of this aspect pattern is suggested by Vesta. This asteroid goddess represents a higher cause that serves the greater good. This is a hopeful point of light in the coronavirus pandemic, since it opens the door to clear communication and creative collaboration between everyone who's dealing with it and who isn't. Excuse me. We also, on April 14th, have the Sun square Pluto. That's the Sun at 25 Aries and Pluto at 25 Capricorn. And the Sun is like the core of your vitality, and Pluto's real intense power. And so on the square side, that's a challenging aspect pattern. A challenging aspect. So this says could be intense. On the more challenging side, you might have some shadow work come up. There might be some power or control struggles with certain people. But on the high side, you can just step out there and all that Aries energy, the warrior, the pioneer, the entrepreneur, and just step out with power and even create wealth. And there's two ways you can play with Pluto power, of course: power over, dominate, control, etc. Or you can share power, say, hey, let's have this rising tide of power lift all of us up. Pluto's also wealth. So taking initiative, Sun in Aries, to create wealth, and that could be money, of course, or anything you value can be wealth, tangible or intangible. Also, there's some nice sexual potential here. Aries is just raw lust. Pluto is sacred sexuality, potentially. So you and your lover could have some really extraordinary connection by not just having your five senses engaged, but your light bodies too. And those come together in sacred union. It's a level of ecstasy way beyond what you can get with your five senses. So those are, also athletic performance. Yeah, I know we're all locked down right now, but even if you're just running on your treadmill or doing a workout at home or going for a run, you might find some extra vitality for that as well. So those are a few ways you can work with that Sun-Pluto square here on the 14th. Next up, on Wednesday, April 15th, what was tax day for those of us in the U.S., but as I know the federal government has delayed those until July 15, and many states are also cutting you a break. Just a side note on that. On the 15th, we've got some Mercury action, two Mercury aspects today. We've got a Mercury-Chiron conjunction with both planets around 7 Aries. Then a little later in the day, we have Mercury quintile Jupiter. By this point, Mercury is at 8 Aries and Jupiter is at 26 Capricorn. There's a third aspect too, but we'll get to that momentarily. So here on April 15th, let's start with Mercury conjunct Chiron. The commonalities of Mercury and Chiron: Mercury is learning, communication, mental stuff. Chiron is the mentor. So obviously, either getting good advice from folks, giving good advice could be really potent. It's all in Aries, so take initiative on this. Don't just wait around for a mentor to show up. Go seek advice if you need it, or if you feel proactively to share wisdom with others, go do that. Chiron's also healing, and Mercury is more known for, the mental stuff, but Mercury also in medical astrology rules the arms and the hands, and that's where subtle energy flows. So this could also be a nice initiative for healing. So let's say you wanted to proactively send some healing energy out to the world. That'd be a fabulous way to use this. We've also got Mercury quintile Jupiter, and this really hones in on the communication part of Mercury. Mercury, again, learning, communication, but Jupiter is like wisdom. It's like professor, philosopher, guru. Quintile is magical connection. So a Mercury quintile Jupiter aspect is really great for just downloading the wisdom, learning cool stuff, sharing cool information that really is not just nice trivia, but meaningful and life-enhancing. And that's the main vibe I get off that one. Our third aspect on the 15th is the Sun square Jupiter. And this is just a big amplifier. It's not unlike the Pluto energy. Well, I'm saying that mainly because Jupiter and Pluto are both expanders and big power planets. And of course, Jupiter and Pluto are very close together right now. They were just conjoined on the 4th of April, not long ago. And Sun square Jupiter, just big enhancement of energy overall. Again, the Sun in Aries is very vital, very, lots of juice, wants to go burn energy up, do something proactive. And Jupiter enhances that. You can also take a Sun-Jupiter square and say, okay, let me embody Jupiterian qualities. So this might involve, again, higher level learning, being the professor, philosopher, guru. Foreign travel is not so easy right now, but maybe immersing yourself in something that has to do with a foreign language or a foreign culture. Learning something or mastering something that came from a culture other than your own, for example. Jupiter's also party time. It's like exuberance, celebration, euphoria. So even if you're at home and not going out, you can still put on some great music and dance or connect with others by Zoom or Skype or whatever you're using, and make connection, celebration. So just some possibilities there. There's a lot of ways to use Jupiter. It is the largest gas giant in the solar system, and it's got not only big size, but a big range of things that it can stand for. So those are a few things you could play with on the Sun-Jupiter square. This leaves us now to Saturday, April 18th. Yeah, 3-day jump, but no significant aspects on the 16th or 17th. Again, more Mercury today. A lot of Mercury aspects this week. Mercury is sextile Venus and Mars. The Mercury-Venus sextile, that's Mercury 12 Aries, Venus 12 Gemini, Mercury-Mars. That's Mercury at 13 Aries, and Mars is at 13 Aquarius. So Mercury is kind of split in the middle between Venus and Mars right there. So let's take Venus and Mars in composite, because these are actually forming what might be called a mini aspect pattern. This could be called a mini Grand Trine, where it's like two sextiles and a trine. So that is a minor aspect pattern. Venus and Mars together, it's either creative or procreative, as I like to say. So Venus and Mars definitely fuel creative stuff. So if you want to paint, do music, dance, anything that's a creative expression, that's really lovely. And Mercury would love to communicate that. It suggests not just doing it for yourself, but maybe sharing your creativity with others, communicating it. Venus and Mars is also relating. And so you've got harmonious aspects all around, and it could be a lovely day to make a nice connection with someone. And these energies support initiating the communication. Mercury, after all, is in Aries, which is proactive. There's Mars, Mars and Aries are the same energy anyway, archetypally. And Venus harmonizes and smooths in all soft aspects. It's a beautiful day to reach out and communicate with someone. So those are some cool ways to work with those two aspects, Mercury sextile Venus and Mercury sextile Mars on the 18th. Then we go to the 19th of April, and here's my first, or actually second written out forecast. This is the Sun entering Taurus, and that happens here on the 19th at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. For the next month, the energies of money, material resources, and security are emphasized. Persistence and consistency, let me start again. Persistence and consistency are easier, but be careful that this does not shade into blind stubbornness. Taurus rules the five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, so it's a great time to indulge them. Taurus also rules the natural world and reminds us that we don't always have to be a human doing. We can stop once in a while and just be a human being. Taurus rules like meditation, quiet, stillness, in its more yin state. So those are the astrological events, kind of a light week. We'll have more major stuff next time. But let me just remind you while you're here that everyone is welcome to participate in most Awakening Plus calls for free. That's my spiritual support program that I do online. Here are April's online events, all on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Coming up this Monday, tomorrow as I record this, on April 13th, a process called Group Healing, Immunity Boosting, and Awakening. Definitely custom designed for our current pandemic. On the 20th, we're going to do individual healings, where the group will hold space for one person at a time, and several will cycle through in the hot seat to receive the healing or support they want. And on April 27th, we're going to have a guest presenter. We had someone lined up, and that didn't end up working out, so I will definitely have our guest presenter lined up here in the next few days, but they're always awesome. We use Zoom for our live calls. There's a link in the show note for details on that. Awakening Plus features at least 3 live streaming events each month. I'm doing a lot more now during the pandemic to support everybody. Most of these calls are open to everyone for free. And this archive of over 220 transformative events, as well as accountability partners and the forum, are available to Awakening Plus members. You can learn more at awakeningplus.com. Plus is spelled out. By the way, if you're listening to this really quick, I am recording this on Sunday morning, this very day. At 2 p.m. Eastern, we're doing an Awakening Plus call also. And it's going to be, we're going to collectively take some time to imagine what the new Earth is going to be like. And then we'll share our thoughts. And then we'll close with a group meditation supporting this new Earth that's arising as part of this golden age that's going to come out of the rubble of all this coronavirus stuff. So if you're in time, you can go to astroshaman.com, and there is a post online about that on the homepage. So thank you for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, awakening activation, astrological event timing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All of my one-on-one services are equal effective in person or long distance. Good thing that. And during the coronavirus pandemic, I've dropped my rates significantly because so many people are experiencing financial hardship, and if I can help you, I want you to be able to afford me. I also offer an unbeatable price on SolarFire, the #1 astrology software for Windows. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. Learn more about all this and more at astroshaman.com. And to go to the show notes on this show, I've started simplifying the page numbers. So just go to astroshaman.com/529. Again, astroshaman.com/529 will get you to the show notes for this specific podcast. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is info@astroshaman.com. My number for voice and text, 828-338-9852. And I would love to connect with you. We are wrapping up this episode. Please rate this wherever you're hearing or watching it so that others like you can find it. This Week in Astrology is honored to be chosen as one of the internet's top 10 astrology podcasts. Check out our website where you can hear the show and subscribe to podcast updates. You can also do a single sign up for 2 great opportunities, chances to win a free consultation and have your chart interpreted on the show. Go to thisweekinastrology.com. From there, you'll be redirected to the This Week in Astrology area of astroshaman.com. Whatever your sun sign, my forecast can help you make the best use of the current astrological energies. All dates and times are in the U.S. Eastern Time Zone. Events are most powerful on the dates listed, but their influence will be active for at least a week before and after. Everyone's affected by these global transits, but you'll be most powerfully impacted when moving planets activate sensitive points in your natal chart. Discover how these transits will personally affect you by booking a session with me. Learn more about my Astrology Plus sessions at astroshaman.com. Choose Services on the menu bar and choose Astrology Plus from the drop-down. Thank you again for spending this time with me. Stay safe, stay healthy. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way. And my clicker is not stopping it. I thought it would. Bye.